Hey guys, Ben Taylor here with Raw Motivations. If you don't know who I am, I'm a self-aware narcissist on this platform to talk about awareness about narcissism and help other people change, grow, and heal in regards to getting out of narcissistic abuse. Today I want to touch base on one of the well-known tactics that a narcissist uses in how they engage with people, and that is called word salad. If you don't know what this is, it's the idea of being very verbose and long-winded about a whole bunch of things that don't get anywhere at the end of the conversation. Basically, a person can talk for minutes and minutes and minutes, hours and hours, even a whole day. And by the end of the conversation, you're just like, I don't even know what we're talking about. Like, I'm not even sure what's actually going on in this conversation. So, wanted to share a little bit with you. So, from this book, Psychopath Free, it's been the book that I've been reading over the past month, and it talks about word salad here, and it also gives a couple descriptions and a couple key points about what makes up word salad. Okay? So, first off, word salad. I wanted to tell you about this. When they're feeling threatened or bored, the psychopath will often use what's called word salad in an attempt to keep your mind occupied. Basically, it's a conversation from hell. They aren't actually saying anything at all. They're just talking at you. Before you can even respond to one outrageous statement, they're already on to the next. You'll be left with your head spinning. Study the warning signs and disengage before any damage can be done. All right, so here's some of the warning signs that I want to be able to share with you about word salad in your relationship. Let's see if you identify with some of these. If you do, leave a comment down below of which ones you identify with. First one, circular conversations. You think you worked everything out, only to begin discussing it again 2 minutes later. And it's if you never said a word the first time around. They begin reciting all the same tired garbage, ignoring any legitimate arguments you may have provided moments ago. If something is going to be resolved, it will be on their terms. With psychopaths, the same issue will come up over and over again. Why are they so friendly with their ex again? Why are they suddenly not paying attention to you? Why do they sound so eager to get off the phone? And every time you bring up those issues, as if you never even had the argument in the past. You get sucked back in, only to feel crazy and high maintenance when they decide, I'm sick of always arguing about this. It's just a giant merry-go-round. Did you ever have that in your relationship? That circular reasoning, that circular arguments? I've done it. Like, that was a huge one. Of regurgitating the conversation over and over and over again, and then wondering, like, why isn't it getting resolved? Well, it wasn't getting resolved because I wasn't resolving it. I was the one who kept bringing me back up, that kept saying things, that kept pushing those buttons, that kept pushing on the other person, being like, hey, no, this needs to happen. Like, we need to change this. We need to focus on this. All the time, redirecting and distracting from the current issue, which was me. That's oftentimes what happens with circular reasoning. Number 2, bringing up your past wrongdoings and ignoring their own. A lot of people probably recognize that. If you point out something nasty they're doing, like ignoring you or cheating, they'll mention something totally unrelated from the past that you've done wrong. Didn't you used to drink too much? Well, then the cheating isn't really that bad compared to your drinking problem. Were you late for the first date 2 years ago? Well, then you can't complain about them ignoring you for 3 days straight. And God forbid you bring up any sign of their wrongdoings. Then you are a bitter lunatic with a list of grievances. This one is so true. Bringing up past wrongdoings. And the thing is, they normally don't even connect to the conversation that you're having. Or it's like a very long stretch. It's like you're having a conversation, you're talking about X, Y, and Z, and they're like, well, yeah, but 3 years ago you did A. Like, I can't believe you do that. And you're like, where did this even come from? Like, I don't even understand how this fits in the argument. And they're like, exactly, that's the problem. You don't understand. This is a communication issue, and blah, 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 blah. It goes on and it goes back to that circular reasoning, and we go round and round and round. But the idea of when you're talking about a certain subject, they're going to pull from pieces everywhere else. Because if they can pull from everywhere else, they're going to distract you so you're not able to focus on what that conversation is about. What that does, it takes all the view off of me and puts it on you. Puts on your past, puts on your failures, puts on everything that you have to work on explaining and justifying. And as the narcissist, they can kind of sit back and be like, yeah, see, it's your fault. You haven't fixed this. You're the reason. You're the problem. And on and on. All right, so that was number 2. Number 3, condescending and patronizing tone. Throughout the entire conversation, they will have this calm, cool demeanor. It's almost as if they're mocking you. gauging your reactions to see how much further they can push. When you finally react emotionally, then they'll tell you to calm down, raise their eyebrows, smirk, or feign disappointment. The whole point of word salad is to make you unhinged and thereby give them the upper hand. Because remember, conversations are competitions just like anything else. That's very true. Conversations are like competitions. And you get into a conversation, you get into an argument, a discussion with a narcissist, all it is a competition. A lot of people are like, how do I win against competing with the narcissist? How do I win that conversation? How do I make them understand? I'm like, you can't. Because the rules are constantly changing, and even while they're constantly changing, they're still following the same pattern of if I word salad enough, I'll get you so confused that you can't focus on me, but you have to focus on you and your own sanity to make it out of that conversation alive. Narcissists are very, very gifted at controlling the conversation, making it circular, bringing up past mistakes that you have, and condescending, and have a patronizing tone, and making you feel crazy. Getting you to the place. Like did you hear that book? It said the point of it, the point of word salad is to get you unhinged. So when you start feeling unhinged, when you're like, this does not make sense, I do not understand what's going on, that was the point. The point wasn't for you to engage in the argument and win, because you won't win an argument with someone who doesn't play by the same rules. Someone who doesn't engage on the same level, the same type of conversations as you, you're not going to be able to engage on that same level and figure it out. Because it's constantly changing. It's constantly moving. Something to think about. All right, number 4. Accusing you of doing things that they're doing themselves. You guys have probably seen some of my videos on this. Projection, mirroring, things like that. Let's go ahead and read what it says. In heated arguments, psychopaths have no shame. They will begin labeling you with their own horrible qualities. It goes beyond projection, because most people project unknowingly. Psychopaths know that they are smearing you with their own flaws, and they are seeking a reaction. After all, how can you not react to such blatant hypocrisy? You see, from the narcissist perspective, the psychopath, the sociopath, the toxic person, from their perspective, they want to take that and they want to put it on you. If they can put it on you, once again, you start to become unhinged, and you get to the place where all you're doing is defending yourself. Defending the conversation, defending your integrity, your character, your faithfulness, whatever it might be, you're defending that. And as you keep trying to defend it, they slowly win. In their minds, because they're like, hey, she can't talk to me now because she doesn't know what's going on. He can't wrap his head around the conversation, so as a result, he's not going to attack me anymore. He's not going to say, this is what's going on. The whole purpose of word salad, the whole purpose of these type of conversations is to distract you. If you have the 1 point, if you have the 1 point sitting right here, you're not going to touch this. And people are like, hey, let me have that conversation, let me communicate, let me get through this person. The problem is you're not here. You're not communicating here. You're communicating everywhere else, because they're going to manipulate the conversation all around the subject, but not actually touch on the subject, not actually acknowledge this is what's going on. That's the circular reasoning of word salad. Bringing up the past, condescending, making you good unhinged, and accusing you of things that they're doing. Do you identify with any of those? Any of those kind of stand out of like, wait a second, like that's actually happening right now in my relationship? If so, you might need to take a good look to see what's going on. Because some of that, like it's talking here, some of that is going back to this word salad. Some of that is going back to controlling you in conversational chaos. If that's you today and you're not sure, would love to be able to talk to you if I can help out in any way to help identify, help guide you through a narcissistic abusive relationship. If you want to talk sometime, there's a link down below. You can click that. If you guys haven't already, you can download the NARC app, N-A-R-C, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Community. It's a community of people that either are stuck in their relationships or they're getting out and they want to learn about narcissism. They want to grow. They want to track their habits. They want to track their focus of where they are. Are they being no contact? Are they recording their truth? Are they changing the story of their life that they're viewing it through? Because a lot of times it has skewed perception from the narcissist, from other people. And there's people on there that can encourage you, that can help you, and that you can learn from. If you haven't already, subscribe to some of the other channels. So we've got TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, dropping small nuggets of truth every single day. Would love to have you interact with those and be able to see that. Typically we go live pretty much every Thursday night around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Would love to have you join some of our lives as well. If you haven't, listen to the podcast as well. We're on Amazon Music now Apple Podcasts, and also on Spotify. Thanks so much.